You ever meet someone and bam, there it is, an instant, undeniable connection, a spark that you just can't quite put your finger on? Well, today we're basically going to be detectives. We're going to solve the mystery of why we click with some people and not others. So let's get into it.
I mean, it's one of the most universal feelings out there, right? You can meet 100 people, and most are, they're fine. But then one person walks into the room, and everything just feels different. So why? What is actually going on inside our brains at that very moment? So to get to the bottom of this, we're going to follow a trail of clues. We'll start with the mystery of connection itself, then dig into your brain's comfort zone. After that, we'll look at a sort of attraction checklist, then dive into primal chemistry, the allure of the rare, and finally, we'll put it all together.
Okay, so first things first, let's unpack this mystery. That special feeling, that spark of connection, it's not just random luck. It turns out it's the result of a super complex and selective process that our minds are running in the background all the time. And that right there is the heart of it. See, if attraction was simple, we'd feel it for way more people. But we don't, do we? It's actually really rare. And that rarity is what makes it feel so powerful and honestly so confusing when it finally happens. So our first big clue is hiding deep inside our own minds. It's all about our brain's powerful, totally subconscious preference for what it already knows, what it considers safe.
Seriously, think of your brain as this incredible supercomputer that's been collecting data your entire life. So when you meet someone new, it's just rapidly scanning them for patterns it recognizes. And those familiar patterns, they signal safety and comfort, which can feel a heck of a lot like an instant attraction.
And what's wild is how subtle these patterns can be. It might be the way they tell a story that reminds you of your best friend, or maybe they have this calm temperament that you've always found soothing. It could even be a certain look in their eye or just an energy that feels familiar. Your conscious mind might not pick up on any of it, but your subconscious, it's screaming, "Hey, I know this. I like this." And this leads to something really powerful called psychological projection. We're not just attracted to the person for who they are right now, but for what they represent, the potential for the kind of connection we've always hoped for. We basically project our own hopes onto them, and that just amplifies that spark like crazy. And this is the real kicker. When that projection clicks into place, being around them doesn't just feel good, it makes you feel like you're becoming the best version of yourself. And wow, that is an incredibly magnetic feeling.
Okay, let's move on to our next clue. So familiarity is a huge piece of the puzzle, but for a real spark to ignite, a whole bunch of other things need to line up just right, all at the same time.
This is exactly why you can meet someone who is, technically your type physically, but you feel absolutely nothing. A real connection is a multi-layered thing. It's like hitting the jackpot on a slot machine where a whole bunch of different symbols have to align perfectly. And this is where that super rare combination comes into play. Your brain is unconsciously running through this lightning-fast checklist. Am I physically attracted to them? Yup. Do I like their voice? Check. Do they make me laugh? Do they seem smart? Uh-huh. Do our core values seem to line up? Feels like it. And what's the emotional vibe? Safe, exciting, warm? Check. The chances of all of these things getting a yes from one person are incredibly low. And that's exactly why that spark feels so magical when it happens. Okay, we've talked about the psychology. Now let's get a little more primal. Our third clue dives into that deep biological chemistry that we have literally zero conscious control over. This is the part of attraction that just leaves us baffled. It's that gut feeling. You can't list the reasons why you're drawn to someone. You just are. This is your ancient evolutionary programming taking the wheel. So your brain is processing all this data completely below your conscious radar. We're talking about things like their natural scent, the exact proportions of their face, the pitch of their voice, even hormonal signals that we can't consciously detect. These are deeply primitive triggers that create a really intense, unspoken pull. All right, our fourth and final clue moves beyond the person themselves and into the situation. It's all about how simple availability, or a lack of it, can totally change the game and amplify our interest. So our brains are just wired to place a higher value on things that are scarce. It's a survival thing. When someone is a little mysterious or not super available, our brain flags them as a valuable, scarce resource. And this little psychological quirk, the scarcity effect, can turn just mild interest into a full-blown fascination. Okay, we've got all our clues. We've got the psychological pull of the familiar, that rare alignment of the checklist, the primal biology, and the allure of scarcity. Now it's time to put it all together and solve this mystery for good.
So here it is. Here's the solution. That special feeling, that spark, it's not just one thing. It's this incredibly powerful signal that your brain sends out when all of these different systems, your biology, your psychology, your entire life experience, and your deepest values, when all of that happens to align perfectly in one person at one specific moment.
And this is the really beautiful part. This explains why you can meet someone who seems perfect on paper, they check all the logical boxes, but you feel nothing. And it's also why you can meet someone else who is flawed and imperfect, yet you feel this incredibly deep, undeniable connection. The spark was never about perfection. It's about alignment. So, as we wrap up here, I'll just leave you with this thought. Now that you know the spark isn't just magic, but this rare, beautiful collision of so many different factors, does that change how you see your own connections? It's definitely something to think about.